Hello friends. In last session, we have completed the optical isomerism in alkyl halides. In that, we have seen chiral molecule, chiral carbon atom, optical activity, enantiomers, etc. and etc. Okay. Now, our next point is representation of molecular formulae. When we study or when we learn the chemistry in our classroom or in day-to-day life, we use or we project the chemical formulae on blackboard or on the plane of the paper. And as we know, blackboard as well as paper has only two dimensions. But you know that the compounds are having three dimensions. So, how to predict the compounds, how to predict the formulae on blackboard as well as on paper, how to convert that three dimension into two dimension, how to represent it. It is a very important task. So today we have to see that how to represent the molecular formulae. Representation of configuration of molecule. First is Wedge formula. In this formula, side wedge is used to indicate bond projecting out of the plane of paper towards observer. As we know that molecules are in three dimensions. So what tricks are used that how we can represent this formula on plane of the paper? First is wedge formula. In wedge formula, solid wedge is used to indicate bond projecting out of the plane of paper towards observer. Now here you can observe this is carbon and these four hydrogen are attached to this carbon. That is, this is molecule of methane. Methane molecule has tetrahedral structure. Okay, so this tetrahedral structure, how will we can represent by using this? Look, this is wedge. This formula, solid wedge, is used to indicate bond projecting out from this carbon towards observer, bond projecting above the paper. So by using this wedge, solid wedge, observer can conclude that this bond is projecting towards observer above the paper. Similarly, here you can observe that dashed wedge. This dashed wedge is used to depreciate the bond projecting out of the plane and away from the observer. This wedge, dashed wedge, is used to depreciate the bond projecting out of plane and away from the observer. While the wedges are shown in such a way that broad end of the wedge towards observer. Here you can observe this is broad, this is short, this is broad and this is short. So care should be taken that the wedges are shown in such a way that the broad end of the wedge towards the observer. Okay, and in next the bonds which are lying on the plane of paper, they are shown by only single line. So here you can observe that in this methane molecule, this CH bond and this CH bond, these are present on the plane of paper. This CH bond is projecting above the paper and this CH bond projecting below the paper. So by using this wedge formula, one can easily predict the structure or is easily dissipate the structure on in three-dimensional ways. Okay, I will repeat once again. Look here, this is structure of methane. In this methane, the bond between this carbon and H by single line, it indicates that they are present on the plane of paper. This solid wedge, this bond having solid wedge between carbon and hydrogen, this shows that bond is projecting above the paper towards observer, while this dashed wedge, it shows that bond is present below the paper and going below the paper, while this all structure or all this formula, we call it is a wedge formula. What we call it is wedge formula. By using this wedge formula, anyone can easily represent configuration of molecule. So this is about wedge formula. Then we goes to next. That is Fisher projection formula. This is another formula, Fisher projection formula. In this representation, three-dimensional molecule is projected on the plane of paper. As we say earlier, that here three-dimensional molecule is described or dissipated, projected on the plane of paper. The formula can be drawn by visualizing the molecule with its main carbon chain as vertical. Now you can observe here, this is carbon chain. So this one is carbon 1, this is 2, and this is 3. So this is 3 carbon chain. So each carbon on the vertical chain is represented by cross. You will observe the cross here. So here one carbon is present. The convention is that the horizontal line of the cross represent bonds projecting up. Look, this is horizontal line, this is vertical line. This horizontal line indicates bond projecting up from the carbon, and vertical line represents bond going below the carbon. As like we have seen in wedge formula, that is solid wedge and dashed wedge. Here instead of that, horizontal and vertical lines are used. So here how we dissipate or how we predict? Here the vertical line, it indicates the carbon chain. Each carbon on vertical chain is represented by a cross, and the horizontal line of the cross represents bond projecting up from the carbon, and vertical line represents bond going below the carbon. So you can see here Fisher projection formula. Here this COOH, here one carbon is present, here one carbon is present, and this is CSA. Means this is the chain of 4 carbon atoms. This is chain of 4 carbon atoms. The horizontal line on which this H and OH are present, on horizontal line on which this H and OH present, they shows that they are projecting up from the carbon, and this vertical line, that is COH and CH3, they shown that their bonds are going below the carbon. You can also see here the interconversion of Fisher projection formula and wedge formula. Here this solid wedge, the bond projecting towards observer, this dashed wedge out of the paper, below the paper, here also. So by using this Fisher projection formula and wedge formula, one can dissipate molecule, or one can easily observe three-dimensional structure of any molecule. Now next point we have to see the important point, that is reactions of haloalkanes. Haloalkanes are very reactive compounds. They give various types of reactions with various reagent. Now generally 3 categories of reactions are observed. that is nucleophilic substitution reaction, elimination reaction, and reaction with metals. Now this reaction we have to study in detail and one by one. Okay, we have to see laboratory test of haloalkane. Laboratory test of haloalkanes. Haloalkanes, we know they are neutral molecules, neutral compounds in aqueous medium. On warming in aqueous medium or in aqueous sodium or potassium hydroxide, the covalently bonded halogen in haloalkane is converted into halide ion. You can observe here. This Rx means any halide, alkyl halide, OH minus, there will be conversion into OH, ROH, that is alcohol plus X minus, that is halide ion is obtained. When any alkyl halide is treated with aqueous sodium or potassium hydroxide, the covalently bonded halogen in haloalkane is converted into halide ion, that is X minus. When this reaction mixture is acidified by adding dilute nitric acid and silver nitrate solution to get precipitate of silver halide, which confirms presence of halogen in original organic compound. So by using this test, we can confirm the presence of presence of halogen in original organic compound. Is it clear? You should read this once again. Simply here what is explained, that is when we react alkyl halide with aqueous sodium or potassium hydroxide, there will be formation of alcohol and this X minus, that is halide ion, is formed. When this reaction mixture is acidified by adding dilute nitric acid and silver nitrate solution, precipitate of silver halide is formed, which confirms presence of halogen in original organic compound. Okay, so this test is used generally for confirmation or for detection of halogen. Then we see next. That is nucleophilic substitution reactions. Nucleophilic substitution reactions are the important reactions when group bonded to carbon in a substrate is replaced by another different group to get a product with no change in a state of hybridization of carbon is called as substitution reaction. Here we know that the carbon halogen bond in the alkyl halide is polar. As halogen atom is electronegative, it has partial negative charge, and on carbon partial positive charge is present. So due to this, bond is completely polar and it acts as electrophile center, hence it has tendency to react with nucleophile. And alkyl halides reacts with variety of nucleophiles to give nucleophilic substitution reaction. Now here general nucleophilic substitution reaction is represented. Nucleophile Nu minus, this attacks on this polar bond and the bond between carbon and halogen breaks and their new bond is formed between carbon and nucleophile. So this is about the nucleophilic substitution reaction. In next session, we have to study nucleophilic substitution reaction details with various reagents, that is when various reagent attacks on the nucleophile as a nucleophile on the alkyl halide, then variety of compounds are formed. We will study this in next session. Okay, thank you.